Hi, my name is Simon Townsend. I am the CMO for IGEL in EMEA, and today I want to spend 5 minutes talking to you about end user computing, IGEL, and the need for a next generation edge operating system. IGEL is a German-based software vendor with an international presence which has grown in the end user computing space since 2001. With over 17,000 customers globally, we're well known for our industry-leading hardware and software solutions, which have been deployed across organizations in many verticals. Before we dive into IGEL and our next generation operating system any further, it's probably worth taking a step back and considering what many describe as the end user computing market, where it has come from, and more importantly, how it has been changing over more recent years. If we go back to the early 90s, those organizations who were deploying Windows desktops and applications typically deployed what we could describe as a fat client. Fat clients consisted of a PC, they were stored in the office, they were connected by a LAN cable, and the operating system, the applications were typically installed all locally. By the end of the 90s, however, some organizations decided to deliver their applications differently and allowed users to remote into Citrix terminal server environments. The method of remoting on the Citrix environment meant that applications and data never left the data center, and this significantly helped from a security and a performance point of view. Remote connections into this shared Citrix environment also helped with remote workers, home working, and anyone, in fact, that had to deploy applications outside of their corporate network. If we fast forward to 2014, 2015, and arguably through to where we are today, the concept of virtual desktops or hosted desktops from both Citrix and VMware have become mainstream. Millions and millions of users globally are able to remote into virtualized hosted desktops and consume applications across any network down to any device anywhere in the world. For the most part, Citrix and VMware environments have been delivered from the corporate data center on-prem. But in recent years, both now offer cloud and hybrid deployments, allowing their customers to choose where to host the desktops and the applications, and in some cases, placing those environments and those technologies into the public cloud. Today, the world has changed again, and Citrix and VMware have been joined by Amazon, Microsoft, and Google, who all offer cloud-delivered desktops and/or applications. Regardless of whether we're talking about an on-prem Citrix environment, a public cloud-delivered VMware environment, or one of these new desktop as a service offerings from, say, Amazon, these can now all be regarded as cloud workspaces. Whilst technologies like Citrix and VMware have simplified how virtual desktops are delivered, IT departments are arguably still plagued with concerns and challenges when it comes to the endpoint. Our users are more mobile than ever and also have significantly higher expectations than ever before. The endpoint continues to be a security concern, and over recent years we have seen far too many targeted user attacks taking place at the user level on the endpoint. And with a more heterogeneous environment, at times IT is having to spend more and more time managing these endpoints. Windows 10, as an example, requires more frequent updates, which in turn requires more testing, more user downtime, and a level of management that IT would rather spend their time using elsewhere. Lastly, to connect to these new cloud-delivered workspaces, these endpoints typically need to be kept up to date. And for many organizations, older endpoints with older versions of operating systems on them are preventing organizations from moving to the latest version of Citrix or moving over and consuming things like Amazon Web Services and desktop as a service. So how can we simplify, save money, and yet consume these new cloud workspaces? Quite simply, it's by introducing IGEL OS. IGEL OS is the next generation of operating system specifically designed to convert any device to connect to any cloud workspace. A secure read-only operating system can be deployed to an existing estate of endpoints in minutes, and with a simple management interface, one administrator can manage thousands of endpoints. Simple, smart, and secure. To make this endpoint operating system work and to make sure that it delivers the correct level of user experience, it's important to note that this operating system also has over 80 embedded technologies within it. Technologies that allow the endpoint to connect to all of these different cloud workspaces. Technologies that allow USB headsets, printers, and other peripherals to be plugged into the endpoint to ensure that they work both locally but also as they interact with these cloud workspaces. If we take a look at three very simple examples of people who are deploying IGEL for a number of different reasons, you can see a quote here from Memorial Herman, where Sean says, within an hour and a half, I had a fully functioning environment attached to our Citrix and VMware environment. His updates now allow him to perform updates across the edge in minutes instead of weeks and months, and they've seen a significant reduction in the amount of man hours they are having to spend on managing the endpoint. Likewise, if we take a look at Diversicare, Sean gives us a quote there. The shift was basically transparent to the end users. And for IT, it created a single homogeneous desktop landscape that is easy to manage with a simple drag and drop interface. They've been able to save over $600,000 in the first year just on hardware savings alone. So by converting their existing estate to the IGEL operating system, not only is it easier to manage, a lower operational cost, but also significant CapEx savings as well. And lastly, if we take a look at Bud Bayer, all of these case studies are on the IGEL website. But again, the IGEL operating system gave them ultimate flexibility and ensured that as they moved forward with cloud workspaces, they weren't going to experience any type of vendor lock-in. So just to summarize and finish up, why IGEL? It's simple, it's smart, it's secure. It's very, very easy to convert any x86 device to an IGEL operating system. It's very simple for IT to manage, significant reduction in the amount of management compared to an existing Windows endpoint environment. It's smart because we can connect to any of these cloud workspaces. It's smart because out of the box, it's working with those 80 plus ecosystem integrations, and it's secure because it is based on a Linux read-only operating system, and it's configured centrally, controlled both locally and remote devices using a very simple centralized policy management platform. All of that allows IT ultimately to save time and to save money and to go and spend that time and spend that money on delivering those cloud workspaces and delivering things like digital transformation and adding value back to the business and not focusing on endpoint management. Thank you very much for your time. Hope you've enjoyed this short webinar and thank you for taking our survey. Many thanks.